Okay everyone, so in this next lesson, let's go and try to work on the footer section of our page. So let's go and try to write the markup now. So I would want to go and have a div footer, and inside of that I would want to have a div footer contact information, a UL with 3 LIs with the class name footer items times 3. So let's have one for the email. So I have my email here, rbsldevtechsolutions@gmail.com, and here we have our Discord channel. So let's just write sample 123 here. Twitter account will be at sample 2020. So we can just go and replace that with your Discord channel and our Twitter account. So the next thing that I would want to add here inside of this will be not inside of the div footer contact, but inside of the footer div is the paragraph that contains the copyright symbol, and then copyright word here, and then our name. Now let's go to our page and try to double check how this will look right now. Okay, let's go down here, and again the text is there but no styling yet. So let's go back to our code editor and styles. Now let's work with the footer section here. Let's go and target the footer div, add the padding to the top of it, 2%, padding left, 5%, left, 5%, height, 25 VH, background color, black, and text color will be white. Let's go and refresh this, and there we go. Now let's remove the list style in our footer here and select the footer items, list style type none, and then let's also target the paragraph element. Let's just go back to our browser here, and we want this to be centered, so let's go and target the paragraph element, text align center, and there we go. So we now have our email here, our copyright symbol, and we are now done with our page here. Now let's go and target the different section. Let's go to our markup here. Let's have header. Let's give this an ID of header. And let's go down here, ID of about, and ID of footer. Let's go back up here, about, footer. Now let's go back to our browser. And now when we click in our navigation here, it redirects us to the different sections that we have in our document. So that will be for this exercise. And I'm hoping that you got quite familiar with the use of Git in this exercise. Those are not all of the commands yet, everyone. I just wanted to give you an idea of the workflow when it comes to using version control. So at least you'll have some initial knowledge on how to use Git, especially in publishing your site through the use of GitHub pages. Now here, I just want to change this to header navigation. Let's also go to our styles here and replace here. At least we will not be confused with the header selector here and the header class navigation selector here. So let's see if something broke in our site. So okay, it's working. No problem. Now let's go and again practice pushing this to our remote repository. So let's go add all files, git commit -m, add footer section, git push. Now let's go back to our browser and let's go try to check our portfolio page in GitHub. And there we go. So perhaps we can go and add some space here. Let's go back to our code editor. Let's apply some padding top 5%. Let's see first how that will look. Let's go back here. It's too big. Let's go back here. Let's say 2%. And there we go. I think that would be much better. Now let's try to go and push that again to the repository. Git add, git commit, message will be add padding top 2% to footer paragraph. Git push. Now let's go back to our browser, refresh, and let's go and see the updates here. And there we go, everyone. We now have our copyright footer having some space here, similar with our project here in our local machine and the GitHub pages that we've committed and pushed our changes into. Just take note, everyone, sometimes GitHub pages might need some time to be updated. So just wait for a while and then try to refresh and try to open your browser, close again your browser, and then try to go to the link in your GitHub page, and you will see that your changes will be updating on its own. So that will be all for this section for the Git exercise. We will be working on the other sections of our page and we'll be also making this responsive. But in the next section first, guys, I would want us to have a little bit of rest from coding and try to tackle some topics that are related to coding and your learning journey, which I believe is really necessary as you pursue this type of career path. I just want you to, again, not walk blindly. I want you to not make the same mistakes that I made when I started out in freelancing. And I want to share to you some of my own experience and at the same time, give you a heads up again, get to know the industry. Our goal here, of course, after you're done with my course, you will have some ideas on how you can get some ROI out of the skill sets that you now have currently acquired, and what will be your next plan. And it's really important that we also look into the concept of getting an ROI, because sometimes we get to finish a course but we don't know where to go from there, especially how can we now turn this into a source of income. I want to tackle some tips that will be related to freelancing, putting up your own freelancing business, and on whether you would want to go and focus on freelancing already, or should you be taking a job first. So that will be something that we will be tackling in the next section, and I'm hoping that it will be helping you out as you go along with your journey into the web development industry. So thank you everyone, and that would be all for this lesson. See you on our next lessons.